Hey everyone, or nobody, or anybody. Let's wait for somebody to show up. It's Christmas Eve. Here I am, Suzanne Titkemeyer. I have been reading through Reddit this morning. Reddit, am I an a-hole? Oh my goodness. This is like the Super Bowl of disturbing family everything. I am laughing at how many of the am I the a-holes there are that involve family and crazy families. One woman said she accidentally used her sister-in-law's expensive shampoo, just one little pump of it. Now the woman is demanding $40 to buy another bottle. It's just crazy. Merry Christmas to you too. I too also love the AITAs on Reddit because they're hysterical. Some of the crazy stuff, hey nitwit, it just makes me laugh. Some of it. Hey, sweet bee, happy Christmas Eve to you too. I just wanted to have a real quick little laugh and say, let's not have drama this year. Let's just have fun. Let's have fun and just laugh. Tonight, I'm going to eat tamales after a Christmas service at another church that I don't attend, but I know most everybody who attends there. And I'm just going to put on my blinders and have no drama with anybody, even though there are a couple of people there I'm kind of like not too crazy about. If there is a remove post, go down to the comments and the post is posted down there. Well, see, I have to remember that because there's been so many times when I've gone on to Reddit and I'm reading these things and I'm typing out a response. The next thing you know, it's post removed. Ugh. That's the worst. And there's been a couple of them lately. If you notice, there's a couple that I swear they sound like they've got to be made up by trolls. I was trying to think. There was one earlier that was just I just kept reading and going, this can't possibly be true. And this is me. I came from a big Cajun family with everything under the sun you could think of happening on Christmas. Usually involved adults getting super drunk and crazy stuff happening. I remember one year my father burned up everybody's Christmas stockings. Hey, Christoph fan. He put a fire in the fireplace, which is kind of silly because it's South Louisiana. It's not like it ever gets really cold enough for fire, but he did. My stepmother started nagging about the wrapping paper in the boxes. He shoved them in one big thing, shoved them in the fireplace. Next, this fireball comes out and burns up the mantelpiece, all the stockings, all the ornaments on the. It was just, and it was all I could do not to bust out like laughing because I know I'm not supposed to laugh at those things. But I'm always one of these people where I see just the funny side of a lot of things that other people are going, oh, that's terrible. I'm like, and that was pretty funny. But my stepmother didn't think it was too funny. Merry Christmas to all y'all. Merry Christmas Eve. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna look at a couple of these crazier Reddit ones that I've just been laughing over. Where is that one? I was mentioning there's one where the lady accidentally used her sister-in-law's shampoo at her in-laws home, and the mother-in-law had said, do not bring any toiletries, I got plenty of stuff. She used one pump of the sister-in-law's fancy shampoo, and now the sister-in-law is demanding $40 to buy a brand new bottle. I got a bottle for her, but it's not it's not shampoo. It would be something like tequila or whiskey, something, something, something. Look, have a drink, relax. Janice Bobby McGee. Didn't Christoph write that? Oh, there's a young girl who trolls big time on there. Her name is escaping me right now. She always talks about her dad and stepmom, always. She disappears for a while and then comes back. I think I might know who you mean because she was on there earlier today with a tale about her father nagging her about not shaving her armpits and her legs, and that her going to a Christmas function in combat boots, a floral dress, and unshaven legs, and how the father um nair in a shampoo bottle. No, that's a thought. This gal was saying that her father polices how much body hair she has, that he polices her weight. He comes into her room, he looks at this, he looks at that. And I was just reading through her description of it, and it's got to be somebody trolling Reddit, because there's just no way that any 17-year-old girl was going to put up with that from anybody. And why any man feels it's their business to police the body hair or lack thereof of body hair by any female in their family is just really none of their business. That's one of those things that it's really your business. I witnessed an altercation in Walmart this morning. They had to call security. Somebody cut in line. It was actually quite entertaining. Nitwit, I'm sure it would be. I have always enjoyed some of the crazy action in Walmart, right up until the kid threw up on my feet in Walmart. That happened one time. And it was pretty repulsive. And I was pretty mad because the kid was maybe 9 or 10 years old. He kept telling his grandmother and his mother that he was sick to his stomach, and they kept ignoring him to gossip about everybody in the town. Right up until the kid threw up all over my feet. Fortunately, I was wearing rubber shoes, but everyone calls her out. Her dad and stepmom have a baby together, and she complains. The stepmother sounds wonderful, but she paints her in a nutty way. Bossy, I think I know who that is. I think I've read enough about that, and I think she is there. Hey, lazy mom. Hey, everybody else. Merry Christmas and Merry Christmas Eve. We're not going to do much for Christmas. We're going to have a really low key. We're going to have a charcuterie tray, some cookies and things during the day, and then we're going out to eat dinner like 4 o'clock on Christmas Day. Tonight we're going to a religious service and we're having Costa Rican tamales. Hey Peg, Merry Christmas. Tamales are big time here for Christmas, and they're not like the good tamales in Mexico and the States. These are very bland. So they're good. They're just bland. Doesn't feel like Christmas. It's my first one in Florida and seems so bizarre at 75 out and it's Christmas Eve. Bossy, I have still struggled with that here. It never feels like Christmas here because it's probably 85 out there, 90 degrees at least today. It started making the turn towards hot. And I was telling my husband, it's like, we're getting the AC on the car has been out like 6 weeks or so. And I'm so acclimated now to the hot weather that it only really started to feel sticky and gross the last day or two. So he's scheduled Monday to get it worked on. I can only handle bland since turning 50. Well, Peg, you would love it then. You live in Iowa and it was 68 degrees. Oh my goodness, global warming. Have you had any snow at all in Iowa yet this year? Lazy mom. That doesn't surprise me about Arkansas. I know Arkansas, being north of Louisiana, can have any kind of weather. And Louisiana has any kind of weather. I've gone swimming many a time when growing up on Christmas Day. My husband says the best tamales are the ones you get in the hood from the crappiest car in the parking lot. He's right. He's absolutely right. We used to do that. They open the trunk and you pick out what you want. Yeah, it's also, believe it or not, here a good place to get any kind of food, I've discovered. Anybody selling in the trunk of their car, even stuff like ceviche. Excellent. Just whatever you can get. No snow in Wisconsin? Oh my, not one snowflake yet. Philly is warm today. I can't wait for snow. Warm in Indy. Weird. It is kind of warm. We canceled Christmas due to snow on our mountain and feeling sick. No crud here. 3 times boosted, but easier reschedule for nicer weather to risk life for Spanish dip. Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to talk a little bit about that ugly beer virus too, even though I don't really want to talk about it because I'd rather laugh today. I've been reading about all of the airlines that are canceling flights. I think that there's going to be some major lockdowns coming, and I'm not looking forward to it. We're supposed to have a friend come visit us next week, and he's got all my CPAP, my VPAP machine masks. So I'm hoping that they don't lock down the U.S. until after he goes back. But I don't know. 28C on Cyclone Watch. Oh, Braxton's here in Northern Australia. Peter, I had a friend that posted a video that made me laugh. It was Jingle Bells for Australia. It was all about how they're having a barbecue and everything. I know it's warm there. And it's like here, it's just warm. You're in your bikini for Christmas. It just is what it is. Snowy there. Oh, sick for 2 weeks. Oh, feel better. Feel better, Miss Rain. That is just not no fun being sick around Christmas time. Um, one of the things that I will always remember is the Christmas that everybody in my family had the flu. And I mean not just I mean the flu with every aspect you could think of. That year I was 12. I remember my father gave me a 5 pound box of Mastercraft chocolates from Elmer's Chocolates in Ponchatoula. And I remember being so sick, I just looked at the box and just put them down and went back to bed. And normally, if you give me a 5 pound box of chocolates when I was like teeny tiny, I would have been jumping for joy, but not then. Um, I'm on the west, the opposite side. Yeah, yeah, opposite side, most definitely. Um, Cyclones and everything else. So, what is everybody cooking? I'm actually not cooking for a change. I used to cook, and I've cooked last Christmas, but I'm not cooking this Christmas. I grew up in Jersey and lived in Boston for the past few years. That would mean snow. Some of my friends in Boston, I think, have said it snowed a little bit there. They act like bronchitis and pneumonia magically are gone now. You have to get tested, and it puts off your treatment for 4 days. That's a problem. I've been playing that since this beer virus hit here. I'm playing. Is it asthma? Is it COVID? I play that game a lot. And a lot of times I don't even get tested. I'll wait a few days to see. And oh, turkey and all the fixings. I wish I was at your house. You fried turkey, dressing, and mashed potatoes. Oh my goodness. Oh, you people who cook. I wish I was coming to your house instead of going to a restaurant. I'm going to a restaurant in Playa Flamingo tomorrow called Angelina's. It's a really nice place. A friend of ours owns it. Really good food. Cooking the pies and desserts today. I even cheated. I got everything at Costco already pre-made as far as desserts and things. And then I went to the German bakery and I got a Stollen. I got a nice large one. So I need to put together thank you packages for the pool guys because for some reason they are showing up tomorrow morning for their usual Saturday cleanup. Tried talking to them and said, well, I guess you're going to have to come out on Friday or Monday or something. I said, no, we're coming out on Christmas Day. We work Christmas Day. I was like, what? Hopefully Alejandro pays you double. Seafood for Christmas here, which is good, is in case we lose power. Oh my goodness, yes. And that's another thing that can happen here. That's what happened yesterday. Yesterday, I was trying to do a lengthy video about 10 things you need to know to cross the border here to renew your visa. Every couple of months, when I go somewhere and I renew my visa, something else has changed. Something else has changed dramatically. And so I keep trying to update what's the requirement. Like I said, we ended up spending about $60 US. It used to be it was 48 to cross the border and back. But they've raised the prices since the beer virus. And, you can't blame them. The the land border was closed for like a year. Just could not go across it. So when they raise the prices like this, pretty crazy. So I had to do this yesterday, day before yesterday, and yesterday I did the video on it. I got about halfway through, and since dry season has started with the Papagayo trade winds, it knocked out my electric for about 5 minutes in the middle of it. And then when I got back, I could not get back on live streaming. I had to do the rest of the video, record it, and then upload it, which was kind of a drag. I prefer live streaming. My husband was the only upper management work Thanksgiving, so I hope he would at least have today off. Nope, working all day and evening today. That's not good, bossy, but that happens, unfortunately. Cooking ham with pineapple rings with cherry in the middle with cloves, 1950s mom recipe. Oh, scalloped potatoes with fixin'. Oh, that would be good, too. Um, I do have a ham and I have a turkey. Eventually, I will cook them when I get around to feeling like I want to cook again. It's just a husband and I this year, trying to keep traditions going with all the kids and grandkids unable to come this year. Sweet Bee that is the sticky wicket of this time with that evil beer virus. I would like to have my kids fly here and spend Christmas with us, but none of them have been able to come since the beer virus started. My baby came right as it was starting because one of the things we did was walk into one of the pharmacies here and get her a stack of masks because masks had already sold out in the US at that point. I feel okay, Felicia. My foot finally stopped hurting. Trek through between the Costa Rica and the Nicaragua border. It's a couple mile walk. It's not a short walk, and you're walking this weird 20 to 50 yard no man's land. The road is torn up all over the place. They finally fixed up the Nicaragua side where they actually have sidewalks now and they have a nice new building. But they tried to shake us down, and this is the first time I was able to actually walk that far with no problem since my stroke back in February. The problem I ran into is 12, 13 years ago or so, like that. I injured my right foot ankle. I was in Lowe's buying light bulbs, okay. It was on the light bulb aisle. I was looking at the light bulbs because I had a lamp that took a weird bulb. And while I'm standing there looking, this lady ran her hover round, her little motorized cart, over my right foot. And I'm pulling back from her like this, trying to get away. Well, apparently I partially ripped some tendons in my leg, and I fell backwards into a pile of light bulbs, a light bulb display they had, and I wrecked a lot of light bulbs. That's one thing about not being a skinny mini. You're going to take something out when you fall down. So I've had problems off and on since then with my foot. Every now and then where the ligaments were kind of torn and stretched, I'll do something to injure it. I won't even know it. I must have stepped in a hole or twisted it at some point during the walk because just like when I initially injured it, by late night, my ankle had swollen up and I couldn't walk on it. It was like walking on a stump. But I managed to cure that one day, staying off it. I'm okay again. I got to catch up with the chat. I mean, I will be all alone. Not my first holiday alone. Just wish we could have had a nice breakfast or dinner together. The hotel is sold out until after. Oh, yeah. Merry Christmas to you too, Peter. The thing about that, I've done that too, Bossy. My husband was in the military for some years, and it seemed like he always pulled guard duty or being out in the field at Christmas time. Spent a number of those alone myself. It's no fun. I feel you, sweet bee. Easier just to cancel for us due to weather. Only one son, wife, and granddaughter. So we're just two now. It's easy enough to do that. I'm Jewish, and all I can do is go to the movies and eat Chinese food. Jamie, that is the best thing about hanging out with my Jewish friends at Christmas. Chinese food and doing stuff that's non-traditional. No drama, calm and intelligent. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying to stay a quiet, safe spot, even though I have my crazy stories like falling into a pile of light bulbs that injured my foot 13 years ago. It was just one of those things. I love that, the Christmas Story, after the dogs eat the turkey. That's one of my all-time favorite movies, that and Christmas Vacation, because both of them are pretty good stories of how we can plan the most perfect family vacation, Christmas, whatever in the world, and it just goes haywire all over the place, which I think is more typical than having those perfect vacations and those perfect Christmases. I had to laugh. One of my relatives told me after asking about their Thanksgiving, said they almost had a bumpus family Christmas because the dogs got under the table where the turkey was. Started jostling it around. They thought for sure they were going to lose the turkey, but they didn't. They managed to keep their turkey. Again, I think the most amazing thing about this entire time right now for me is going onto Reddit and reading all of the am I the a-hole stories because so many of them involve family drama and it's just too short of a time to be together to be fighting. Uncle Eddie. Yeah. Uncle Eddie. For me, that's the best where he's like, Merry Christmas. You know what? It's full. And he's dumping his chemical toilet down a storm drain. Yeah, there's a couple of crazy ones there. I'm trying to get back into Reddit. It's not letting me. I'm trying. Mhm. And I'm also been looking. I don't know how many of you follow Jill Rodriguez. Jill and David Rodriguez and the Rodriguez Family Ministries. I can't wait to see what Jill is making because Jill never disappoints. She always makes some pretty crazy looking food. And I don't mean crazy looking delicious. I mean some strange stuff like having 30 guests and a ham this big and then it's burned into bits. I wish I ate Chinese food. I am dying for good Chinese food. We don't have it here. We have Chinese food, but it's not good. Oh yeah, bossy. I worked at a movie theater too for a while when I was first moved to Virginia, and I loved it. I loved working with everybody, and but that was the hassle was we would as management trying to figure out who was going to work which holiday. I usually work Thanksgiving so I could have Christmas off. Four grown kids with their spouses and five grandkids. We lost our middle son this year. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, sweet bee. So my husband was bound and determined to make sure we kept our tradition. Yep. Yeah, I'm not sure, Bossy, either how they can get away with that because and some of these, like here's one. Am I the a-hole for supporting my stepdaughter's wishes not to put presents under the tree until Christmas morning? Why is this even a problem? Am I the a-hole for addressing a Christmas card to my dad only and not his wife and their children? I would say yes on that one without even reading through it because you don't do that. Okay, that's a strange one. It's like the Super Bowl of family dysfunctions. I gotta say, my last Christmas to my father, I was kind of an a-hole. In my defense, I was still in my 30s. I wasn't very mature. I was really immature, and I forced my father's family to cancel their plans and come back to the house. And I did it on purpose. I admit I was being messy back then. Okay. Am I the a-hole for pretending to be sick so I don't have to celebrate Christmas with my family, even though it means I won't get to spend it with my son? Oh my. I don't blame you for lying about being sick if it doesn't serve you, but not your child. That is just wrong. That's just me. You just suck it up and you do it for your child, even if they're being a jerk as I was that year. Here's one that's not Christmas related. Am I the a-hole for breastfeeding my child at my sister's wedding? Probably not, but I'm not going to make a hard and fast on that. Another family fight with in laws and children. One year at a family Christmas, my great uncle put hash oil in the cornbread dressing. And it was possibly the only Christmas we ever had with that extended part of the family where no one fought in that Cajun family. It was just everyone was quiet and peaceful. And there are times where I think the better part of valor is to maybe pop a Xanax before you go to some of those things. Yeah, it does. It does make you look like super passive aggressive when you have those explosions. And I've certainly had my passive aggressive moments in the past, but I can honestly say there were never explosive ones like that. That's just crazy. And there are crazy stories on Reddit. Makes me thankful for my boring ass life. Yep, bossy, exactly. Our Christmas Eve tradition is gone as of this year. I'm so upset about it. I love traditions. The older I get, the more things go away and need for change. That's very true. I got to say that. I cried when we left the States for here because of the Christmas stuff, because they seized about three-quarters of my household goods and I was not able to retrieve them. And they had all my Christmas ornaments, almost all of them, except for one little box. So I had to actually decide to let go of all that stuff and to go ahead and move with change, which is why I'm not which is why I'm very casual now about Christmas. Lisa, depends upon if she wore white while breastfeeding. Oh, you know how many of these AITAs have we seen where someone is upset that someone else wore white to their wedding? No, there's so many silly things to be upset about and to fight about. Somebody wearing white to your wedding is so minor. I don't even notice how people notice these things. When I had my wedding, I was just so dinged out trying to make everything work right. I don't think I noticed anything. I didn't even notice the fact that my mother had on a low cut red dress until later when the family started going, Suzanne, your mother's wearing a low cut red dress. Even then, I'm kind of like, whatever, but I'd still have family members that mention that. It's been healing for me to celebrate and include him. You really have to, Sweet Bee. I think that's the only way that you could actually handle having those sorts of celebrations after losing a child. That's the only thing. I saw that Jill was cooking. Was it foamy meatballs? For some reason, I thought she was cooking stew, but it could have been meatballs. It was crazy looking. But Jill Rodriguez makes me laugh because the she has so many strange recipes and so many weird things. Do you remember last year when she made the big meal and she had her small child open those free cheese sauce packets with her mouth to put into the potatoes for everybody? I would like to be a fly on the wall and watch her cook. Of all my fundamentalists, she's kind of my favorite one because she takes every dumb shortcut you can, and she's so over the top emotional and blaming and shaming. I got the biggest kick out of the shade she was throwing at the Duggars in the wake of Josh's trial. She has sucked up to the Duggars so much to the point where she actually got invited to a number of the weddings. And she stabbed them in the back a number of times. So now she's throwing shade at them. And that is always a great comedy with Jill. There's so many it's hard to keep track of etiquette when just trying to live the pain. That is very true. So one of the biggest laughs I've ever got out of Jill Rodriguez was the time that her husband drank the hummingbird nectar thinking it was juice. Didn't catch on until he drank about a half of it and said it didn't taste very good. She is like the Fruit Loops of the fundies. I wish she would feed her kids Fruit Loops. I wish she would too, Lisa. She just makes me laugh with so many of her shenanigans, but that is the thing I hold against her. She's obviously not feeding those kids. She says it's genetics making them that thin, but you just have to look at the kids, some of the unhealthy skin tones and things, and realize this is not normal or right. But you have to laugh at the other stuff, like the time she crashed a funeral, the people she did not know that lost all three of their kids in a house fire. And she took selfies with the parents in the caskets. I don't know whether to laugh or be shocked over that one or both. She's done that. She's done, when her sister became a paraplegic, she did a funeral for her sister's legs. Um, she has done so many just out there crazy things. I was thinking about her today because somebody on Reddit on Fundy Snark had wanted everybody to list everything that they knew about Jill, and I did some things that nobody else had listed, like that, like the hummingbird nectar, because I got such a big laugh out of that one. I also got a laugh out of the chair in the bathroom, the upholstered chair in the bathroom, and the fact that they had a electrical panel over one of the toilets. I've never seen that kind of handiwork ever before with anybody else. But Jill, she has baby pins in the Winnebago they all travel around in. Between the makeup, cooking, and MLMs and the tubby hubby, it's easy to see why the kids are malnourished. You're exactly right. I'm sure it's to save money. No, I did not see that, Bossy. Telling off my sister for smoking pregnant. Ah, that red crap is pure sugar. Pure sugar. Exactly. So he was drinking sugar water and didn't even know it. He thought he was having juice. No, I did not see that. No, I have to refresh my Reddit because I've seen some crazy ones recently. Okay. We got to take a look at this one. So, if you have time between cooking your food, I would suggest taking a look at Reddit's Funny Snark Uncensored because they they just have something so odd going on right now with the listing of all the multiple shenanigans, and I'm going to call them shenanigans because not everything that Jill Rodriguez does is awful. A lot of it's just weird. The awful is how emaciated the kids are. Christmas memory. Legal advice subreddit. Employer wants only to hire people who own home instead of renting, asking if that's legal. Probably not legal, but you know something? If you ask the question a certain way in the interview and or on the application, you could probably get away with it. But I'm not a lawyer, so don't take my word as legal. Also, I just have to say, it has been extremely quiet in the world of without a box of Kleenex. I'm not 100% sure why, speaking of legal, but I'm guessing she may have been forced away from the computer. Did you hear that Emily D. Baker is going to be on ABC for their end of the year thing where they count things down? I am really, really happy for her that she managed to accomplish that. In the last 6 months, I've done 4 different documentaries, been interviewed by them, possible inclusion. One of them went to air and I was not in it. I wasn't surprised because they asked me a question about did I think that Gwen Shamblin had been bumped off. And I just started laughing and said, if you're going to come up with fundamentalist conspiracy theories, let's not go there. Her husband had not had a recent medical evaluation for his pilot's license. And apparently there were some issues with the maintenance on the aircraft. So let's not even go there to say that somebody bumped off Gwen Shamblin. They usually run credit with signature on app. So they find out if there's a mortgage anyway. Don't need to ask. Lisa, that's actually true. That's actually a good point. Particularly if you're having a job where they're going to ask those sort of things. Well, when they're going to run a credit check, because not everybody does. Not every job I've ever seen does. Okay, Reddit, why are you removing all of the am I the a-holes from my list? I'm definitely not seeing them. I'm going to have to go into the actual. So I was starting to say a little bit about the documentaries. One of them is one they just announced that they are going to develop a documentary series. It's about IBLP, ATI, the Duggars, and all the other families that are involved in that. And I'm not surprised. When they approached me, they said, we're in the very beginning stages of thinking about doing a documentary on this, and we want to approach it from both sides, both good and bad. What can you tell us? So I talked to them for a full hour and I gave them an earful. I gave them an earful about everything going wrong. So far, it's been two Gwen Shamblin things, this one, and there was one that was just general quiverful. They're still not sure what they're doing. But of the, like I said, the one is aired. I did not make the cut. And I think it's because I started picking at them about the rumor that Gwen Shamblin had been bumped off. The other ones are going to happen. And I know it has to be killing somebody that they were not approached for this particular documentary series yet. Now, they may still well be, even though I did issue them a warning and say, she didn't know what she's talking about all the way back then. And knowing that Emily D. Baker is going to be part of ABC TV for that special, it's got to be killing without a box of Kleenex. So that is my Christmas gift. Thank you, Jesus, this year. You need to make sure your posts are listed as new posts. I'll take a pic. Okay. Yeah, I must have changed it, Bossy, because I did have it where I was getting all the newest on that. Okay. Oh, some of these are sad. Okay. Okay, here's the one that I'm positive that this is a troll. Somebody who posts quite frequently. Motley Crue shirt 1. It's me again with another stupid clothing dilemma. Yay! This happened when me, 15-year-old female, and my dad, 44 male, went to a restaurant with my grandfather, 71, because it was my grandfather's birthday. Starts talking about shaving her arms and legs, armpits and legs only in the summertime. Does my father forces me to lift up my arms and he makes puking noises if I even have stubble. Holy, way too much involvement. So then she talks about a floral dress that was worn and her father flipping out because of her combat boots, her Doc Martens, and her unshaven legs. He told me I looked dirty and unprofessional. As I mentioned, I explained everything to my dad. I know this is kind of petty, but am I the a-hole? So a lot of people are treating this like this is real. And I'm pretty sure that this is the gal that keeps coming back uh, um, over and over again with these different trolling. Yeah, YouTube God featuring Emily D. Baker. I am sure she is grinching it up in Minnesota. I am sure that the dog is getting kicked or whatever she does. The year 2021 on ABC, Monday, December the 27th at 9 p.m. your local time. Emily is the legal analysis. Yes, yes, yes. So I'm glad for Emily. She deserved it. She's really put in the time and the work on her channel to be able to do those sort of things. Okay, somebody's brother swiped their Adderall. Why does that sound familiar? I don't know if that's the same. No, it's not. Somebody else explodes their friend's cosmetic procedure. Somebody else made their vegan boyfriend eat meat. Okay, here's one that to me epitomizes the kind of family you don't want anything to do with at Christmas. This woman's 50. She has adult children that have partners and marriages and kids. And the kids won't drop everything and be with her together on one day. So now she's holding it over their heads that there's never going to be a family Christmas ever again, that this is it. She's done with it. Get ready for so wine soaked Instagram lives. I don't doubt that, Sweet Bee. In fact, I think that Monday night it will reach an epitome. We'll see some crazy behavior. That's what my prediction is. I'm standing by it. Get past Christmas and opening the presents and playing nice with the family and all of that. And for Emily being on TV, and you know damn good and well she's going to watch every second. She's going to grind her teeth. She's going to flip out, the whole 9 yards. So I think it's going to be awful and awesome all at the same time. Now, usually don't glory over bad things happening to people, but when you have somebody that you've just seen get away with all kinds of crap for years and you're just shaking your head going, what the hell? What happened here? And you do get a little bit of delicious schadenfreude when you see something finally happen that they're not going to be. Yeah, I'm not getting the newest ones. I don't know why. I'm probably going to have to go in there and make some kind of change. Online status, blah, 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 user settings. Maybe that's it. Here's the other thing. I'm looking at this right now, and I'm pretty sure what's going on for me with Reddit is because I'm in Costa Rica, because it's showing I'm in Costa Rica. She won't watch it. KJ never watches her enemies, but somehow knows every word spoken. Lisa, she'll watch. She'll be hate watching. She'll be hate watching Emily like some of us have hate watched her in the past. That will happen. It just makes me laugh. So while she is roasting those chestnuts or whatever it is she does for Christmas Eve tonight, you know she's going to be literally grinding her teeth at the same time and having indigestion and Christmas dinner. Oh, what a joy it is. Probably just basic white t-shirt makes you look really bright. Well, here's the thing. This is not even really a t-shirt. It's an embroidered thing from Holy Clothing, an embroidered tunic. I'm pretty dark. I've been out in the sun a lot lately, so probably it's brightened me up because of that. I just washed my hair, put it up on my head. Little bit of lip gloss. That's about it. I'll see. That is weird. I'm gonna have to go in there and see what's going on. Let me see. Yeah, I'm on the Reddit website. Let me see what is going on here. Why it's not letting me. Let me see if I can PM you. I don't know. Let me see. Okay, now it's telling me you're not on here. Not a clue. Yeah, so here's the thing. I am not okay. I know one thing. Bossy, you know why you can't find me? Because I'm not my usual name on Reddit. I have another name on Reddit. It was a girlfriend of mine that set it up to be able to expose some of the stuff that KJ was doing. Her later on just turned it over to me. Ah ha ha. Okay, let me see if it'll let me. Because it's telling me you're not there, and I know you are. Ah, there you go. Finally found you. Let's see if it'll let me at least tweet you and see if I can. Here's the thing, with me and technology, once upon a time, I used to be pretty darn good It's so many of these stupid things, and I'm not anymore. And it's telling me that you are not available for instant messaging. It's really strange. That is so strange why it wouldn't be on there, because I am public. In fact, I'm thinking about changing it to professional if I do what I think I'm going to be doing after the first of the year. So, okay, let me see if I can go. Try to go back and reload. Nope, it's not giving me anything remotely. Oh, I know which one I want to talk about before I go. Did anybody see the Am I the A-hole, the guy who said he had a Bengal cat and he wanted to know if he would be an a-hole if he brought the cat to his family's Christmas because the cat was expensive and his sister-in-law has cat allergies. Hey, Marmaduke. So, okay, if you do that, then hopefully I'll be able to go in. I hope so. So he's saying he's trying to justify exactly what it is he's doing, bringing his cat with himself. Okay, now I see what to do. Bringing his cat with himself, even though his sister in law is horribly allergic. And what's comical about it is that everybody and their brother is telling him what an a-hole he would be because there's so many different versions. There's so many different versions of different things he could do to avoid the whole thing. And he is just not willing to do any of it. Okay, now let me see this again. This isn't working for me, but I'm not surprised. Okay. New. Okay, that's what's going on. Not going to my girlfriend's house. Getting angry at the shopping. Now, what am I looking for now? Saying this, oh, here we go. For telling my sister off for smoking pregnant. She found out 3 months in and said she would gradually quit. She's on 2 to 3 cigarettes a day now and is due in February. She's always had this, the more you tell me to quit, the less I will mindset, but said when she found out about the child that she would definitely stop for the kid's sake. I told her a while ago she should probably think finishing her quitting project for good before way too long had gone by. I don't think it's rude to say as it's literally a child's development at stake here. I didn't say it like that. It was brought up in what I think was a sensitive enough manner. Oh, that is a tough one. Nobody has called her an a-hole yet. Hmm. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is a sad situation. I've never been a smoker, so I would hate to even make a judgment what that would be even like to stop. I've seen people struggle with addictions off and on my entire life, and I just don't even know on that. Even though I do got to say, if you go down to one a day, maybe try nicotine patches and go all the way because kids that are raised in families where one of the parents is a smoker are more likely to develop asthma and other bronchial problems. I like to do this. I read it pretty often too, Bossy, but not always. I would never impose my pet on others. Crazy. Lisa, he's justifying it by saying that because it's a $2,000 cat, that he has every right to bring it around his family and everywhere else, and he can't leave it at home. Even though he's only going to be gone 24 hours, he could easily hire a pet sitter to come in there and check on the cat. And I think that probably would have been his best bet, but he's not willing to do that. I've been looking at AITA a lot lately. Some of those stories I can hardly believe, but I do think a lot of them are true. I think a lot of them are true too. Lisa, yes, it is horrible for the baby. Don't bring your people or your cat around people who are allergic. I'm a cat lover too. Same thing, Marmaduke. I would never do that to others because I have dealt with severe allergies most of my life, and I just would not inflict anything that I know would hurt somebody. It's only people who've never had those kind of things that do that stuff. $2,000 cats have dander just like strays, unless it is a hairless breed. Yep, Bossy, I would be very upset too. And the thing is, Bengals are short hairs, but they're not completely hairless. I've always wanted one. I have a girlfriend that breeds Bengals. But the day I tell my husband, hey, honey, I spent $2,000 buying a cat is probably the day we would have one hell of a money fight. Take the cat to a cattery if you're worried. That's what I'm doing from now on. Since both cats have chronic illness, Marmaduke, you have to do that. Highly allergic to animals and lots of other stuff. Oh. My son, when he first got out of college, and we said, well, what are you going to do now? You got your degree. What are you going to do? You going to get a job? He said, no, I think I'm going to walk dogs for a while. So that's actually what he ended up doing. He ended up going for a pet sitting service as a young guy straight out of college. He met his girlfriend there. He was taking care of her cats when she was working sometimes. And sometimes he was having to give medications to these animals. And that's why he was having to check on them, because a lot of them had things going on where they couldn't be left alone for an 8-hour stretch while someone was working. I've only spent $2 for my kids' births at Kaiser. That was an overpayment, though. Oh, Lisa, that is awesome. I think we paid $25 for one and $12 for the other, and our insurance picked up everything else. So, yeah, I've never even paid $2,000 for my kids. So bad she missed 2 years of school because of her asthma. Allergies were so bad. We went 1K Christmas for the first time ever to my aunt's. Her kids had their animals over the night before and they didn't tell us. Oh my goodness. I can just imagine, because I remember, well, if you know me at all, you remember my story this past June, starting in June, well, June and some other April, May, where the church I was attending here in the Tamarindo area, they had somebody coming in with an emotional support dog. And I don't react to every dog, but I reacted to the breed of dog that is. I'm extremely allergic to that type of dog. And to the point where the last exposure, I almost had to use my EpiPen and go to the hospital. My oxygen levels dropped in the high 80s, and I just got really sick each time. And the church said, well, we're not willing to tell this visitor with their emotional support dog they have to leave it at home. So I left. I don't need church that badly. On Christmas, my sister had a severe asthma attack. And this was when she was in her mid-20s and was much more under control. My aunt told my sister to go sit in the garage. I flipped out. Bossy, I completely understand that after having been through my situation. I mean, I've always had severe allergies to a number of things, never that hard to dogs before, and it has been eye-opening. Being told that I could sit just outside the church on a chair and watch through the open door was kind of like, no, that's not a solution. They did not want to tell the woman not to bring her dog, even though it wasn't a genuine service dog. And I kept pointing out that with the AMA rules, my illness trumps her emotional support. It just does. Emotional support animals are not considered the same thing as service animals. They don't have the same rights as service animals by any strange and any bit of imagination. God and Lord knows the baby Jesus doesn't want us wheezing our prayers. Lisa, I left and I haven't totally been back to church yet. My husband has picked out a church. I've gone a couple of times. I'm not impressed. Not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before last, I had people tell me to take off my mask. This was a non-masking church in the middle of Omicron. And I don't understand how they can't understand how incredibly more virulent this is. I mean, one day we had one Omicron person in Costa Rica. The next day we had 4. Tomorrow will we have 8? It spreads like wildfire. And I just can't for the life of me how some American Christians think that masking equals, let me find this thing, that masking equals not believing in Jesus. I think if Jesus was around, he would probably be masking. I got to show you this bad little doodad. This might work for your sister too. It's always been very helpful for me. Here it is. I got to carry a freaking pharmacy. I pulled out my N95 to show you one of my N95 masks. I carry these with me everywhere. I used them pre-COVID. I'm probably going to use them for a long time after COVID. They help if you're exposed to something that you're not supposed to be around. They help a lot. My sister took my sister and I home. I was so disgusted with them. Later on, we saw pics of them on Christmas Eve with all the animals there. The animal bed was the exact spot on the couch she sat down. Bossy, this is so frustrating because I went to an Airbnb house like 7 years ago and I had listed my allergies, including dogs. We walked in the house and there was a hairy dog bed right next to the bed in the master bedroom. I reacted all over the place. The whole place had been cleaned with young living oils. There was animal hair everywhere, and it was just a bad thing. My dad took us home. I was so mad about it. It was long ago, but I'm still upset about it. Yeah, I can't believe family would do that to you. This is a neat little gadget I wanted to show. Any of you have family members like that? This is a wind filter. Now, I've had this sucker for probably 5 years because that's when these were coming out on the market. They were in beta testing. And I got this then. I got one early because I said, hey, I need this. This is why. Let me be a beta tester. And they let me. It's got some really cool features. You charge it. You turn it on. Right up to the face. It's got a HEPA filter. The nice thing about it, you see this button, there's a button here that says A, and you press it, and it'll tell you what the air quality is in your room. It's just average. It's not great. It's not bad. Yellow is average. It'd be better if it was blue, but I don't know what else I could do to make the air quality here better. I'm running the AC like there's no tomorrow. It is what it is. She missed all of the 6th to 8th grade. The middle school lost, all middle school, lost all of her friends. She ended up going to a nearby school that had AC. She missed a lot of high school days, but still graduated the top of her class. Viral food. Merry Christmas. Yeah, he would be volunteering to administer those jabs, the whole 9 yards. And that's one thing I wanted to say. Have compassion for your sick relatives. These things, if you need one of these things, they've come way down. They're like $100 now. They were like $300 at the time. It's very useful if you're having little asthma, like I feel myself reacting, put this thing up to my face if I don't need the mask. And this is an excellent alternative. My only problem with this thing is I got to remember to charge it. And I'm notoriously bad for remembering to charge a damn thing. So there's that. That's terrible, Bossy. But I'm glad she had it under control now. Okay, and we have a troll. Okay, and on that note, trolls, HEPA filters. Oh, and the HEPA filter is changeable. If you buy one of these things, you just take it out, you change it. It's pretty easy to deal with. Now that she's extremely successful, I'm very proud of her. She's actually was the lead on the new COVID pill that was just approved by the FDA. I cannot pronounce it. She's had 5 drugs approved by the FDA. That is awesome. When you can take something like that and make hay from it, it's really awesome. One of my children works for an organization that helps the doctors who are dealing with COVID. So I know how proud of her I am. So I can just imagine how proud of your sister you are. That is awesome. And I think we're getting to where hopefully there'll be drugs to beat this thing. I don't know about you guys, but I'm staying home. I'm masking when I gotta go out. Sometimes I'm double masking. If I'm around a bunch of dumbasses that are running around saying, "Oh, don't wear a mask. Masking is not what Jesus would have done." Guess what? I double mask. I put this thing under and I put a cotton one on top and just go because nobody has time for any of this. I'm very proud. Peace, love, happy Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas. Will I be around tomorrow? I don't know, maybe. We'll see. Take care.